Sup, Chewbacca's, this is the Black Shadow 305.
And the Extreme Enigma 305.
And today we are going to do a WrestleMania Dream Card.
Now, this dream card is completely opinion-based, so don't take anything personally, or go on a rant on the comments box or anything like that, but please offer your own opinions. So, where we're going to start off, obviously, with the opener, of course. And the one that I would put for my WrestleMania Dream Card is for a United States Championship match, Daniel Bryan versus Dolph Ziggler in a submission match. Now, we saw these two go at it at Bragging Rights 2010, and Jesus Christ, what a match that was. I think you can agree with me.
It was a great match.
So, why haven't they done a rematch for these two? I've always wanted to see it, so in my opinion, we should have Daniel Bryan, Dolph Ziggler, United States Championship match in a submission match. Because both of these guys are submission technicality people, things. So why don't you have these two go at it? It would provide a great opener like it did at Bragging Rights. Have a championship thrown in, it would just be great for WrestleMania.
Yeah, I'm just going to go back to your point about Bragging Rights, actually, about the match and how it was pulled off. Just unlike any openers, it was just fast-paced. It's just an opener where it actually used pins other than like the end, and it was just good. Some good submission wrestling, good array of grapples and stuff, and just awesome.
It did provide a good sort of wrestling match other than more storyline based. It was more wrestling sort of provided in that matchup. So I would have those two go at it again, and the angle behind this, I would have it sort of Dolph Ziggler leading up into a United States Championship tournament on Raw, something like that. And then that would lead up to WrestleMania, where they would both go at it in the opener, providing an awesome matchup. The crowd would be right into it, especially me. And, well, it would just set the tone for the rest of the WrestleMania.
Well, hopefully we have to get him rehired.
Yeah, of course, he would have to be rehired. Who I would want to win this match? Well, I would love to see Daniel Bryan come out as champion. He would retain the United States Championship, because he is a wrestler. I'm just going to say that now. He deserves to have a championship. He doesn't deserve to be misused. Because ever since he came on NXT, all it has been is Daniel Bryan jobbing to people. I mean, I understand that they were going somewhere with the storyline between him and Miz on NXT, but before it was just, I'm Daniel Bryan, I've won all these championships, I've been in all these wrestling companies.
And he loses every match.
He loses every match, and then he gets released next minute. That's all I can say. Just, why would you waste talent like that? So, if you're going to have Daniel Bryan on your roster, use him to his full potential, have him as United States Championship.
Agreed. Which leads on to the next match, the Money in the Bank match. And in this match, we're going to have other people that deserve to not be misused, such as Christian, for example. And we know he's been in the company about 10 years. He left for a bit, done his run with TNA, even became world champion at one point. But I reckon he deserves yet another title shot. But we're not going to give it to him this WrestleMania now. He's in the Money in the Bank. Alongside Jomo, Drew McIntyre, Alberto Del Rio, but you already know that. Cody Rhodes, DiBiase, R-Truth, Kofi, Evan Bourne, Mark Henry, and Tyler Rex. Before we go on to any others, let's just quickly talk about why each of them are in the match.
Well, firstly, we're going to go with Christian. Now, as Black Shadow explained a few moments ago, Christian deserves to be used in main event talent. So if you're going to put him in the Money in the Bank like they've done for the previous few years, then just give it to him, seriously. Don't just hold back, make him sure that he's in there and give him somewhat of a title reign. Maybe even if it's just the Intercontinental Championship, just give him something to have a reason to be on the roster. All I've seen with Christian is that he's misused by guys like, I don't know, fucking Dolph Ziggler and MVP and people like that. So if you're going to make him main event talent, then do it now.
John Morrison. I'm going to be honest, I'm not a John Morrison fan.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's... I don't know, I don't like his entrance music. But it's besides the point. He did show at the Chamber especially that he can do some out of the ordinary stuff, like such as climb the chamber itself, which is only a few people do that, and it's just the fact he's a mixed team grounded and high flyer, and it's be an awesome mix.
The thing with Jomo is the fact that he can hang with guys at the main event status. I mean, we've seen him in a rivalry with Sheamus, we've seen him in rivalries with, I don't know, I can't think of any others right now. He was put over Sheamus multiple times, so that shows that he can be at the main event status. So combined with his entertaining factor, where he can pull off loads of high-flying moves, especially in ladder matches we've seen in Money in the Bank. So you might want to put him in this match just to put that entertainment factor up. Possibly have him win it, you know, just give him that last push, because he had it earlier on this year and failed miserably.
Drew McIntyre and Alberto Del Rio, I reckon we should put both these people in this match, just because it's their destiny, really.
I mean, the way they're building their characters up, I mean, they've got to have them in some sort of Money in the Bank match, or somewhat of a high-status WrestleMania match.
Yeah.
So Money in the Bank would be the reasonable place to have them. especially if they're going to push them towards the main event hierarchy sort of thing. So Drew and ADR, basically the same reason, shove them in the Money in the Bank.
Yeah, which also leads on to Legacy in the Money in the Bank match. Well, they're not Legacy anymore, but Cody Rhodes, Dashing, and Ted DiBiase.
Well, the way I would have it is that you'd have these two back into the Legacy tag team, because I think that these guys provided a great tag team. And these days we haven't really got a lot of great tag team wrestling matches. All we've got is Santino and Vladimir Kozlov and
The Usos.
The Usos. I mean, ever since they split up the Hart Dynasty, there just hasn't been any good teams worth watching.
They sucked as well.
Exactly. So if you bring back guys like the Hart Dynasty, you bring back guys like
Bring back DX.
Legacy,
Show me a shirt, man.
DX. Oh yeah, DX fan for life, world's biggest member. You bring back guys like them. You have another tag team which I'd love to see bring back is Husky Harris, Michael McGillicuddy. Now a lot of people disagree actually because they haven't really got the same chemistry. But to be honest, they're both second generation superstars. You got Husky Harris, who's the son of the IRS, and you got Michael McGillicuddy, who's I think he's the
son of Kurt Hanger,
yeah, Mr. Perfect.
Third generation as well.
Third generation. Yeah. So why not have that sort of thing going on with Legacy? I mean, that's my opinion. So if you have these two in the Money in the Bank, then it provides somewhat of a tag team element to it, as well as the ground wrestling, which both of them can do.
Yeah. Which also leads on to R-Truth, Kofi Kingston, and Evan Bourne. All three of these, with the exception of R-Truth, are a mixture between grounded and high flyers. Just provide the best entertainment, really, for jobbers.
Exactly. If you've got to involve mid-card roster players, like R-Truth, which they use in the Chamber for some reason, and Kofi Kingston, Evan Bourne. So if you're going to involve them, just don't put them in any high-status matches. Just stick them in the Money in the Bank, because that's the best place for them. It's the best place where they can show off their abilities.
Agreed. I reckon we should have Mark Henry in this match as well. Just because he's like a powerhouse, it'll just
Shakes things up.
Yeah, shakes up the match itself. Just having some huge guy in there that everyone could just go for.
The fact with Mark Henry though is he's overrated, yes, but at the same time he can't really hang with the guys of today, because you've seen him in rivalries with Sheamus. Now I can see where they're going with that right now, but if you're going to push him towards something, at least give him somewhat of a main event posture. So if you put him in the Money in the Bank match, then perhaps he could show off some of his abilities and push him a bit further. But then again, he wouldn't really appeal to a Money in the Bank sort of thing. Yes, it'd be good to have a powerhouse in there, but can you really imagine him climbing a ladder?
Exactly, which is why he's not going to win.
Finally, Tyler Rex. Now, Tyler Rex, he's new to the business. No one expected him to be along during the bragging rights sort of time. I mean, he just came in and took Kaval out of the team. I didn't expect that. I didn't want it to happen, so I'm not going to say anything.
When he started, he was just like, had this huge build-up. Now he's just Superstars opener.
First match on Superstars. I mean, that's like the worst thing towards releasing and development stages. So Tyler Rex, good luck in your future endeavours, pal. But we'd having him in the Money in the Bank just to have that sort of WrestleMania push and then just get rid of him.
Yeah,
he wouldn't win anyway.
I reckon the winner of this Money in the Bank match would be Drew McIntyre, because it's his destiny.
I would say Alberto Del Rio, because for the same reason it's his destiny, and it sort of suits him to have a championship reign. So having him with the Money in the Bank, the same reason why they gave Miz the Money in the Bank this year is to just push him just a little bit further onto the main event point.
But the Miz cashed in and won the title. Alberto Del Rio, because he won the Royal Rumble, he's got his championship match.
He has got his championship match, but this is the future.
True.
The future!
But if he wins that championship match, then there would be a reason for him to win Money in the Bank.
However, with Alberto Del Rio, I would make it that he makes history by the only one to lose his Money in the Bank shot. I would have it so he comes out against someone like, I don't know, The Undertaker, and just gets his ass handed to him.
But Drew McIntyre.
He wouldn't be able to.
Laddie.
That was a fail of a Scottish accent by me then, but I'm not going to try anymore without embarrassing myself. Moving on. The third match that we'd have would be Johnny Curtis versus Brodus Clay.
Yeah, we've said this before in the other WrestleMania 27 card predictions.
My channel.
Yeah.
So if you want to see that, please do.
And I reckon this will be good. The angle will play off just like it has so far on NXT, just a big rivalry between them two. And I believe they're both in the finals now.
Well, they're in the finals on NXT now, but if I'm honest with you, I don't really see a lot of chemistry between the two. And there's two different sorts of fighting styles. You've got Johnny Curtis, who's more of the grounded / high-flying sort of showman sort of area. And then you got Brodus Clay, who's just a big guy.
Exactly, which is why I reckon it'd be a good match.
It would be
slow-paced, I agree. But with a babyface going over a potential top heel, it would be a good match. However, I reckon Brodus would get the win.
The question is, can they pull it off at WrestleMania type of style?
Well, it would be like the third match, and no one would probably care about it, considering the main events to come.
So, whether they will pull off a good match or not, I would say that probably Brodus Clay would win that matchup, just because he's the big guy, and I reckon he
just
deserves
get noticed as well.
He deserves to have the NXT win on his side, and he deserves to become a top heel.
And the next match, this is mine versus his favourite, Sheamus versus Kane.
Kane! See, that is a running joke. We told you it'd happen. Why would we have these two against each other? Well, they're basically pretty much the same at the moment. They're at the same level of hierarchy within the WWE. They're both top mid-carders. They've just come off title reigns. So why not have them against each other at WrestleMania? It would be a great match. I mean, we've seen them go against each other on Raw. I think it was at the... was it the Slammies?
I can't remember.
I think it was the Slammies that they went against each other, and they provided a great matchup. So if you're going to have them against each other, put them against each other at WrestleMania. However, I would add one little thing into this matchup, and it would be the return of the Hardcore Championship. I freaking love the Hardcore division back in the WWF. So why not bring it back to add that little bit of extreme element to the PG days?
But it's PG, the kids won't know what hardcore is.
Yeah, but that's the thing though, we don't want to appeal to kids, we want to appeal to the proper wrestling fans like myself. So bring that back and have it vacated, but leading up to this matchup, and then I would have Kane go over.
I'd say Sheamus.
I want just because he's my favourite, I want to have Kane go over.
But Sheamus, the grow kicks, unbeatable.
We'll West VR it one day.
Sheamus has had more title reigns than Kane, and Sheamus is new.
Yeah, but Kane is a veteran.
Exactly. Then why hasn't he? Why
this
has
is
he
down
only
to
won
you
two
guys.
titles?
This is down to you guys. We want you to comment.
Post in the comment box below.
Comments. We don't do this for nothing.
That's so camp. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next matchup would be the Intercontinental Championship, Edge versus Rey Mysterio. Now, these guys have been former partners before, and we know that these guys have great chemistry against each other in the ring. They've had rivalries in the past, in 2008, and they also had that little run in the Elimination Chamber this past Sunday. So, I'd say have these two go at it at WrestleMania because they provide a great matchup, and it will appeal to guys like me. Throw the Intercontinental Championship in there, it provides a bit more prestige to the actual championship. Because these days we're just seeing it go to guys like Kofi Kingston. And I don't think any of us
It'd be a kind of clash of styles. The fact that you've got a high flyer against a showman.
The thing with Edge is, he can pull off high flying moves. We've seen it in the past. He's been in TLC matches, he can do great stuff. So putting him against Rey Mysterio could sort of bring back that element of Edge, and then that would provide a few WrestleMania moments, I suppose. Overall, I reckon it'd be a great match, and it would go to Edge to win the Intercontinental Championship.
Agreed. But why would he be jobbing to Rey Mysterio when he's currently main event?
We don't know, but I reckon it'd be a great match either way.
The next match, I reckon it's be a tag team match with the Core versus the New Nexus.
Now, we said this in our other video, but these two will probably go against each other this WrestleMania. But it'd be good to see them against each other because it's just got pretty much a corresponding team. You got the big guys, Ezekiel Jackson, Mason Ryan. You got the high flyers. You pretty much got everyone.
And you got the jobber as well.
Yeah, so you pretty much got everything you need to have a great tag team match there. So these guys, I reckon, would have the Unified Tag Team Championships as a whole group instead of just two guys. So I'd have those two teams go at it. It'd be a great match, and in the end, I reckon the Core would win that matchup.
I have to agree.
So just for the sole fact that they've got more talent in the Core right now, in my opinion. I mean, you've got Wade Barrett, you've got Justin Gabriel, Ezekiel Jackson, Heath Slater, maybe not, but forget him.
Slater.
So if you're going to have those guys go in it, I reckon they would win.
The next match, it would be
the piss break.
Amazing Kong, as she's now called, versus Beth Phoenix versus Santino.
Now, the only reason we put Santino in this matchup...
Comic effect.
It's a comic effect. I mean, you had it at WrestleMania 25 where he came in as Santino Marella. So, if you have Awesome Kong come into the WWE, then I could see that diva being one of the more masculine sort of...
Yeah, which is why we put Beth Phoenix in there as well.
You got two of the sort of highlighting divas go at it, and, you know, just for the sake you can put them against each other, it'd be a good matchup. I suppose we could throw in the Divas Championship as well while we're at it. So, overall, Awesome Kong would come over, pinning Santino, leading on to a big rivalry
against Santino.
Indeed. Beth Phoenix get injured in the process. We don't care about her.
Yeah, she always gets injured. Ezekiel Jackson versus The Big Show. This would be a good match because they're just both big guys just going at it.
But please report back into the next part because we're about to run out of time.